right, so hi everyone. This is Patrick, and today I am joined by Andy from a very interesting channel called ADMR 1985. Is that the way you say it to your friends?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, some people go Admira, but that's wrong. It's ADMR 1985. Yeah,
Okay, okay. Well, listen, we're thrilled to have you with us, a fellow
yeah.
YouTuber.
Thanks.
And I'm just going to give you an opportunity to introduce yourself to our audience just while other people are joining. So
Yeah,
tell us a tiny bit more about yourself.
yeah. Okay, so I'm Andy, and I only I did start the channel many years ago, but that was before it was getting into anything. But it was earlier in the year that when I got myself a drone that I sort of became more serious on here. Um, and if as my job, I work full time. Or that didn't you want to go into sort of questions separately?
Oh yeah, well, I'll go into the different
Oh,
ones.
oh,
The whole idea is that this is to be quite informal, and we're just going to let the
yeah,
other
yeah,
people who are joining us get an idea. Hopefully, the connection will remain strong. I did have a little bit of
yeah,
feedback there. It's just the technical issues of the first few times that we're going live in this type of scenario, and I think a lot of it depends on how good broadband is in different parts of the UK.
yeah,
Whereabouts are you based
yeah.
in the UK anyway?
So, I'm on the outskirts of Manchester. It's on the border really of Derbyshire. Derbyshire. Um, it's we're literally a few minutes drive from Derbyshire, so it is counted as part of Manchester, but we're right near the countryside, which is sort of where I do get a lot of my footage. Really, is sort of Derbyshire way.
Okay. All right. You've just come back there because you actually went off screen, but hopefully the volume continues to be okay.
Oh,
Talk for me
yeah,
there.
okay,
That's better now.
yeah, yeah, okay,
Yeah.
one,
Good.
two.
The joys of live television. So
I know.
is that near the Peak District? Matthew A asks.
Yeah, I just saw that comment. Yeah, basically that's what it is. Yeah, that's
So
I am right near there. It's actually counted as Cheshire, but it is right near the Peak District.
does that mean in theory there's no excuses for you to not have really good drone footage, or is it part of the National Trust that you're not allowed to fly over it?
No, I don't know. If I really want to go to some of these, like big houses and gardens,
Yeah.
and like we have one right near us, like Lyme Park and Chatsworth House. They're like probably one of the biggest ones that I don't know if you will have heard of, but I'd love to go and film there. But I think for something like that, I have to get in contact and speak to someone because I wouldn't want to do it and fly over the house and gardens and then get in trouble.
Yeah.
But when it's just the hills and valleys and forests and rivers, that's yeah, I'm sure that's fine. I use an app which tells me like no fly zones, and I've not gone anywhere that's a no fly zone.
Okay, well, that's very good of you. I'm just going to take 1 second and make sure that everyone can
Yeah,
hear you okay. I'll just check
yeah,
in with the chat room. Can some of our lovely guests just confirm to me that you can hear Andy okay and that all the volumes are all right
yeah.
from my end?
Oh, and I can see a few people actually saying how they're actually from near here as well.
Yeah,
Didn't even know.
loud and clear. Okay, that's not too bad. Good. It might just be my dodgy earphones then. So I'll just take those out and pop those
Uh,
back in. One, two, one, two, one, two. Okay, can you talk to me there, Andy?
yeah,
That's it. That's better.
yeah. Hello.
That's brilliant. Okay, great. Now I'm feeling even more relaxed. Guys, for those of you who joined
Yeah,
me with Matthew Way just a couple of weeks ago, and there was a real buzzing sound going on. It actually was a little piece of software which was called Loopback, and you need that software if you have a Mac in order to be able to record Skype audio and my audio and the computer screen's audio all at the same time. A little bit complicated, doesn't happen with a PC, but I was running a trial version of that, and that's it. It turns out that actually they always have that noise in there until you upgrade, and I didn't know that. So apologies to Matthew and everyone who joined us last week. So I'm sorry about that. Right, back to our interview. Andy, yes, I really like your channel. And I tell you why I really like it, because one of your videos caught my eye a while ago.
Oh, okay.
Can you guess which one it
Oh.
was?
Was it a non-drone video?
Yes.
No, it was. Was it the GoPro?
Let me see if I can just see it here now, because I'm surprised that it doesn't come to you right away. Let me go into your channel. Just you bear with me.
Non-drone video. I've not done many.
Let me see.
Is it the 100 subs one? That's what
Yes.
people have said.
Yes, it is. It's the 100 subs one where you created your own 100 sub picture frame button. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Explain to us a little bit about why you did that. I find that really interesting.
I think it was because when I first started it and I started doing some drone videos, my first couple didn't really get many views, and I always thought, okay, this is just something that's never really going to take off, and it could be years, but I'm just going to do it. It's a bit of fun. It's a place to show my videos. Then when I started doing Crouch On, I started to think, oh, wonder if you get anything for it. And I saw that you only get it at, is it 100,000? And I was like, that's never going to happen. So I thought it's a bit of fun. I'm just going to make my own in celebration of hitting 100. And so, that's how it came about, really.
And you actually have quite a few views on it. There's over 1,000 people have watched that video.
Yeah, I mean, the thumbnail probably helps as well.
Yeah, I think people are probably thinking, hold on a minute, I didn't get the 100 subscriber play button.
Yeah.
You know, what's going on? But actually, it proves to me that you've got quite a bit of creativity about you. What do you normally do for your work?
Well, I am a graphic designer. So you kind of click there. And I work at, I don't know if you will have heard of them, they're called Swizzles or Swizzles Matlow. Okay. And they're a confectionery company in New Mills in Derbyshire. And I'm their graphic designer. Okay. And they design sweets. They produce sweets there, like you might have heard of Love Hearts, Drumsticks, Refreshers, Rainbow Drops. And their newest thing is these squashies, which are like foamy, soft versions of the original flavours. Okay. And so that's my job, is I'm a graphic designer.
Okay. And are there many of you on? Are you the only one, or are there others?
No, I'm in a marketing team, so it's me on my own at the moment. And I'm doing the graphics, and I've started getting into for them now is video editing, and that's kind of come from doing this channel, really. But yeah, I'm in the marketing team of a few others, but I'm a graphic designer.
Do you subscribe to the theory that every company must become a media company nowadays?
Not sure what that means.
Well, there's a few marketing.
Oh, did you say media?
Yes, there's a few marketeers around the world that will say that every company, i.e. the confectionery company, needs to become a media company in order to be able to get the proper marketing leverage that they need.
Yes, and that's one thing that Swizzles, only a handful of years ago, I think they only had one person there in marketing. But and I joined 4 years ago, and there was 4 of us. Now there's 6 of us there. So it is, the marketing side is definitely growing, and social media is a big part of it. And I help a lot with that because a lot of the fixed fee and videos going forward.
Okay, so getting back to that, you talk about the likes of refreshers and whatnot. Do they make
Yeah,
all of those sweets in a factory that you work at?
yeah, yeah. It
Okay,
is literally a factory in the hills.
and are they the sole factory that make all of those sweets for all of the UK and Ireland?
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
have they always owned it?
No, it used to be a candlewick mill, but
Okay.
moved during the Second World War when it was getting bombed London. So they moved up north
Hmm.
and took over the candlewick factory, and they've expanded it since. And the way things are going, I think they need to expand it more because it actually they are we're doing really well.
Yeah, because now I've seen a resurgence in those types of sweets. Now I would have grown up buying refreshers and drumsticks and all that type of thing as a kid, so I remember them well. But now
Mm,
you tend to see them in the pound shops in
yeah,
multi-pack bags. So I think they're making a
yeah.
resurgence in that area. Would I be right in saying that?
Yes, definitely. Like sharing bags, that probably sums it up. That's
Yeah.
what people want. It's party, Halloween, Christmas.
Yes.
It's the bigger sort of bags and the sharing ones. Yeah.
Yes, Halloween ones. And I mean, I know that because I go to the likes of the pound shops to buy all the sweets for parties for the kids, because you know
Yeah.
there's that many of them going to be there. It's the most reasonably
Oh
priced
yeah.
option, and you
Yeah.
know I do admit I do steal the odd drumstick and refresher and whatnot.
Yeah.
So that happens now. Okay, so that's your normal work. So it's the graphic end of it,
Yeah.
the social media end of it. So you're obviously some of these talents are almost cross. They're crossing over. There is a synergy because you can use
Yeah.
what you're doing. What do you find are you bringing more to that table, or are you able to bring what you're learning there into your hobby or the YouTube channel?
I think there is now a bit of a crossover. At first, it was because I've worked so long, so many years in graphic design. I was able to do all my like thumbnails and graphics for any intros, my like header file. I can do all that side of things. And now it's and also because I use Photoshop a lot,
Hmm.
that translated into video editing, like looking at all the color correction.
Hmm.
I really like that side of things. And in graphic design, Photoshop is a program I love to use. I use it every day. But now it's going a bit the other way. So now I'm using video editing software. I think this is going to play a good role um, for me at Swizzles going forward because editing videos it's very costly, but
Hmm.
also it is sort of really cool for social media.
Oh,
So I think
absolutely.
so yeah, I think it's going to help in the way that basically I'm training myself at home by practicing
Hmm.
at home on oh I can see Matthew's put it's Final Cut Pro I use
Yeah, I'm aware of that.
and it's brilliant.
I've seen one or two of your cinematic look tutorials, which I've actually enjoyed.
Yeah, I want to do, I think, some, that was like using a bit of everything
Hmm.
put in one, but I think I might look at doing something a bit more in depth where there are areas which really need concentrating on, and it's amazing what you can do. That, for example, when I did my Chapel Viaduct video, there's a clip of the train,
Hmm.
and when it's coming along, when I filmed it with the drone, it actually looked rubbish when I got home. It looked a bit juddery and wasn't very smooth. And then in Final Cut Pro, it makes it look so smooth and you can't tell. It's brilliant. Um, so it's like little aspects to that. I might do tutorials on more like focused
Hmm.
tutorials.
Yeah, I think that was one of the first videos that I may have commented on your channel. I remember that, and I
Mm,
remember you pointing out to me, here, check out the train that sort of comes towards the end of it, and I remember I did.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
and to be honest, that's kind of where I am at the moment because I now know all the basics of editing on Final Cut Pro,
yeah.
all self-taught, all within the last year and a half
Hmm.
since I started it. I now am starting to look for more in-depth features way along the
Yeah,
line of the color correction. I use Color
yeah.
Finale now as part of my package. I'm
Okay.
I'm starting to do little extra bits. I'm very interested in color correction in general because I had a
Yeah.
hobby in the area of photography, so I knew how to use Lightroom.
Oh, cool.
So I'm able to bring a bit of that into it. And at work,
Yeah,
if you're a Photoshop expert, then you're obviously familiar
yeah,
with the Adobe suite. So why did you opt for
yeah.
Final Cut as opposed to Premiere Pro?
Well, that comes from my wife. She used to do, well, used to do, I'm saying she still does. But when I first met her and she showed me a lot of videos that she used to do, like it was for family videos and holidays. And I had seen, and she sort of showed me Final Cut Pro. And because I needed to use something going forward for doing these videos, that's what I ended up using.
Yeah.
So she sort of showed me how she does her videos, and then I've sort of adapted it by adding new features as I'm just going along, like teaching myself, really.
Yeah, and like isn't YouTube amazing for learning? Certainly
Ah,
learning
yeah.
Final Cut Pro. There's so many great tutorials out there.
Oh, there is, yeah. I mean, the color correction actually was probably one of the biggest things for me because I think the first video I did, I didn't actually do any color correction. I didn't really do anything apart from I cut the video, put it together, and that was it. Um, but color correction just it's amazing how different you can make it look. You can make it look so different. I mean, I film in D-log mode on the drone now. And I don't think I did it first because, again, on a tutorial it said use D-log. And when I filmed and I got the footage back on the Mac, I thought this looks rubbish.
Yeah.
And then I didn't realize it's because you can do what you want on it after that. You've got a lot more open range on how you want to edit the colors and the exposure and that. Yeah,
Yeah, well, I don't know if you're familiar with photography in any way, but
a bit.
I kind of compare it, and this may not be exactly right, but for a novice in the area of color correction and video, I would kind of compare the likes of D-Log and D-Cinelike, like shooting in RAW as opposed to just shooting in
Yeah,
JPEG, for want
that's
of a
true.
better word,
Yeah,
because there's
no, yeah,
much more detail being saved and in which you can
yeah.
work with. Now, there's a channel which I follow, which is a Scottish channel called Drone School, Film School, I think it is Drone Film School, and I did a little tutorial on one of their things that I learned from them, but they actually explain why they've changed from D-Log to the Cinelike, whichever one does C or D
Yeah.
Cinelike, and that's what I'm using at the moment.
Okay. Yeah.
It's all
I,
to
I did a little. Oh, yeah.
yeah. No,
Sorry.
go on ahead.
Yeah, I did do a little. Did a few classes of photography, so I got a little bit understanding what you mean about the raw files. So it is true. I didn't really look at it like that for the D-log on the drone. Yeah.
And for drone film school, they talk about D-Cinelike, and I've actually
Yeah.
got now a 4K camera which I just purchased last week, and I'll do a few little intro tutorials on it, and it will shoot
Oh, cool. Brilliant.
in 4K and 6K Cinelike also. So it means I'm going to be able to start to do all my videos
Wow.
in 4K, which is something which a few people have said to me in the comment section. You really need to shoot some 4K. So that's what's brought that along.
Yeah. I mean, if I had a Phantom 4, I would be filming in 4K.
Uh, I, I,
Definitely.
I guess yeah. I was kind of supposing that all the drones film in 4K. So actually, the three doesn't.
Yeah. No, I do 0.7K, so that's the highest I can do.
Uh-huh. So you.
But it's still a bit better. I don't notice it massively.
One of the things that I wanted to ask was, you said that you were married there. Am I right in saying that?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Is the name 1985 anything to do with your date of birth?
Yes, that's it.
Okay, so
Yeah.
if my maths don't fail me, so it's 1985, 95, 2005, 2015, 2017. So you're 32
Yes.
ish.
Yeah.
What about how long have you been
Yeah.
married, and
Just over.
are there any
Um,
kids on the scene?
no, not long. We just got married at the beginning of June, so not too long.
Okay.
And no kids at the moment. Not at the moment.
Well, congratulations, my friend. Well done on the marriage thing. And
Yeah.
you
Oh, I tell
know,
you what. When everyone found out, like we were getting married on the honeymoon, 'cause we were going over to America,
uh
they were just straight away, "You taking the drone?" I would love to have taken the drone, but I read it up a bit and I just thought, no, it sounds too travel.
yeah, and listen, you're on your honeymoon. Yeah, that wouldn't be a great way
I know,
to
yeah.
start it off. But yeah,
No,
that's
although we're both really into our sort of cameras and video and stuff, so it's really good because both of us we had the GoPro and her Canon camera on us like every day, and we must have taken hours of footage and photos, so
okay.
which is really good.
And you still have it because you can go back to it in future
Yeah,
videos and include snippets and things. You know, it's good
yeah,
B-roll, as they say.
yeah, yeah.
So
I've just seen some.
yeah, go on.
Someone's comment. I bet you have more space on your memory card in 2.1K. Oh, it does not use it up because I need to upgrade to my 32 gigabyte. I've only got the original one that comes with it, so yeah,
Yeah, well,
it does use
listen,
it up.
let's head over to the comment section for a second and see is there
Yeah,
anyone asking any questions that we shouldn't really overlook. You'll find a lot of the people who are watching end up chatting among themselves too, which is fine. They get
yeah,
to know each other, they sub to each
yeah,
other's channels. So hopefully, please do remember that you've got to head over to Andy's channel, which is ADMR 1985. Make sure you sub immediately to that. Check out some of the videos. He's got some great stuff going on there. I liked, especially as I said, the video on your YouTube button. I also liked the one of the aqueduct or the viaduct going over, I think it was Chapel Milton, somewhere along
yeah,
there.
yeah,
So make sure that you,
yeah.
you check that out. I do like the way you're doing your thumbnails for those. You can tell there's a bit of graphic work or a bit of graphic experience. So
Mm.
keep all that up. So please do remember that, folks. And also don't forget to subscribe to me if you're new to this chat. Okay, let's just scroll down some of these questions. All right, it's nice to see Matthew. It's nice to see Abdullah. Or Drone Junkies UK, obscured by clouds. Very good. Peter's in the house too. 2000 Stephen Ellis. Very good. Yeah, Eagle VP, who interviewed me last week. Keith is there, and so check out that if you want to find out more about myself. Sam, also Zedwa. So there's some familiar faces. There's some new ones there too.
Yeah, I recognise.
So yeah, that's good. Filming God. There you go. We'll check out that too. Or I'm not too sure if that's a religious channel or what it is, but we'll check it out afterwards. Okay, yes, so we're giving a little shout out there to Film and God. Make sure you subscribe to ourselves too. Okay, yes, and then Zedwas, if I'm pronouncing that properly. Do you want to make, don't you want to make some of your own LUTs for others? Yes, eventually. But first of all, I want to make sure that I'm getting really familiar with the color correction tools. Would you be thinking the same way, Andy?
Yeah, and I was just looking. Matthew's put the top three recommendation for video editing. Um, to go over, I think I did in my tutorial, and I'm just trying to think, is it three different things? At the moment, for me, I like the color correction is the biggest thing, and then I like to put the letterbox effect on because I just think that does add now a nice cinematic effect, and it gives you more scope for if you want to have a bit of a pan going up and down because it's cropped. You've got a bit more room if you just want a nice slow pan. And then the third thing for me is stabilization. I use that even if it looks like a stable shot. I'll do the stabilization even on just setting the preset of 1 just to smooth it out that little bit. Yeah, so for me it's color correction, letterbox, and stabilization. I think if you're using that, I think it just improves your videos a lot.
Yeah, well, I would agree with you there on the color correction. Definitely a must. The
Yeah.
letterbox effect, I put that on now more onto my drone shots when I'm in the office. I don't always use it, but I like to distinguish between the cinematic shots and just me talking in the office. So, but
That's true.
I'm still trying to work out whether I should use it all the time or not. The stabilization, yeah, that's a feature that I've just recently discovered and started to use, especially when I'm in the car driving along. Before, I used to just, the
Yeah.
GoPro had really good stabilization anyway, but now that I've started to put
Oh,
it
okay.
in, it's even better for a few of the videos that I'm working on now. And I would also agree, yeah, that it's definitely important if you're going to get some panning shots afterwards using the letterbox effect.
Mm,
Yeah,
yeah.
there's so many things, but those are three really good tips. So Matthew, I hope that
Yeah.
helps. Definitely, Andy would have more experience even than myself regarding the editing process, I would say. So well done
Oh,
there. Let's just see if there's anything else.
okay.
Hi Andy, if you have a Mac, I would recommend. Oh, that's she. All right, he's Matthew's answering
Uh,
someone in the chat there. So very good. You keep an eye on that, Matthew, for us while we're chatting away, because
yeah.
we won't. I don't always like to go over to it too much because then it takes away from the chat we're having ourselves. So, but yeah,
Yeah.
all really interesting. So that's the drone you have. What's the exact name of the drone then for those of us who aren't
Um,
familiar?
it's the DJI Phantom 3 standard, so it is pretty much the cheapest of the DJIs I could have got. But I'm really impressed with it, even based on it is the most basic model. It's definitely got me into it though. Now I want a 4 or a Mavic actually as well.
Yeah, I'm kind of waiting for the next Mavic to come out. They did release another one there a
I
few weeks ago, but it's just I think it's just a
Yeah,
change of blades that makes it a little bit more silent. I don't think there's any major upgrade.
that's it. No, yeah. I did see with the Mavic Pro last week, and compared to my 3, it was amazing how quiet and stable it was, even in moderate wind. Like it was, safe to fly, but you can see the Phantom 3 struggle a bit more. So I would love to upgrade. I think it would help as well with some of the footage because I do end up sometimes deleting some footage because it's just a bit too difficult with the basic Phantom.
Okay, and for B-roll, do you use much B-roll in your videos? Do you talk on camera yourself?
No, but I am looking to change. I think the way I do some of my videos after watching, I think yeah, your first interview. It is so true that generally I feel people don't just want to watch just the drone video from start to finish. Now there is some brilliant ones, but I'm going to start to change a little bit, maybe showing me a bit more setting up, maybe talking, or maybe an intro to the video on where I'm going, what I'm going to do, just something. I'm going to start to, I think, adapt the way I do my videos a little bit more, because I think people like to see the person who's actually flying it, whose channel it is.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely
so
agree. Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, I'm more and more into it. In fact, that today I experimented by uploading at an unusual time of the day because I didn't really want too many people to see it at the beginning. Funny enough, and it was.
hmm
I had been out a couple of weeks ago, and I've got a couple of videos coming up in storytelling form about my adventures, but there were a
oh
couple of
yeah,
shots that I shot at dusk as we were finishing off the day, and I just loved them so much that I wanted to put them together and upload
yeah,
them. So I thought to myself, okay, I'll look for a bit of poetry and I'll stick it onto it
yeah,
just to
yeah.
see,
I liked it.
if that's what sort of reaction it gets. Now, I did see Matthew say in the
I like
comments
it.
that, yeah, it was distracting because you were reading the text and not looking at it. It may have been better that I had done some sort of audio voiceover. So I'm totally going to try that again, perhaps. I just couldn't resist those 3 or 4 shots and getting them up as quickly as
Yeah. They
possible.
were really nice shots. I really liked the low one. It looked like glass, like a mirror,
Yeah.
that water. It was amazingly calm. And I noticed the letterbox on there. Um,
Yeah,
but yeah,
and
I liked it. I quite liked
it
it.
was
It's
it
a
was
bit different.
actually in its raw format, so to speak. It was actually
Mm,
almost totally dark.
right.
So I had to work a little bit with that. And I wanted to go for, I chose music which was quite mysterious because I originally
Yeah.
thought of doing something like a video trailer. I'm still into thinking of
hmm
doing different bits and bobs. So I was thinking, I'd use that mysterious music, and then I was thinking, well, I'll
Yeah.
not get time to finish it like that. So then I went for poetry, and I just decided to choose something a little bit mysterious. Even in reading it, you're like, what did that mean?
Yeah, I was a bit like that.
But
Uh,
it'd be interesting to see what type of comments. So anyone who does want to comment on that last video, please do, and just go ahead and give
yeah.
me your thoughts. And no, listen, thick skin. It's all about learning. If you didn't like it, say it, and then we can learn from
Yeah.
that. Very good. So
Yeah.
I've asked some of the questions. Yeah. So you're using a Mac. I take it to edit your videos. If you're
Yeah.
using Final Cut Pro, you use the Phantom two,
Three. Yeah.
three.
Three.
Yes. And then for B-roll, you're going to do a bit more of it. You don't do too
I
much of it
think
at the
so.
moment. You do a few
No.
videos in your office, so we are getting to see
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, and I think that was part of it. I'm going to be uploading a video at the weekend that I'm just finishing, which people might be interested in, which is to do with a car charger, cigarette lighter charger for the batteries. I've done a bit of a opening and a review on that. So again, I thought this is good because you get to see me. I'm talking. It's drone related, and I won't say anything. I'll let everyone watch it. So
Stay tuned for the next thrilling episode.
yeah, yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Is that?
But yeah, so that I think.
Yeah, go on.
Oh, yeah, I was just gonna say. So I think that was a way. These are little ways of me getting into. I think the 100 subscriber video was the first time I went in front of the camera, and I did that, and I've done more of these little bits because it's just to get used to talking to a camera, basically, and imagining you're talking to people, not just a camera. Um, so yeah, it's a bit weird, but I think the more I get used to it, it'll be better.
Absolutely. And I mean, even I now that have over 1,000 subscribers, I'm still trying to
Yeah,
find my style. So
yeah.
surely you're doing the same. You're doing a few different types
Mm,
of videos. Is that a correct assumption, or have you
yeah,
pretty
it
much
is.
in your head thought this is where I want to go with my channel?
I think I am pretty much there. Oh, what was I just thinking then? Oh, how you said it. But style-wise, again, it's like I can see how my drone videos have changed,
Hmm.
and also things like my thumbnails, I think, are improving a bit more.
Absolutely.
Um, but yeah, for me, I do want to try and concentrate on what I've put as my heading on my channel, which I think is drones. I'm doing another GoPro video soon. Yeah, drones, GoPro. Maybe I like doing the odd time lapse. I would like to do something more on that. I've only done one or two.
Hmm.
And reviews, really like how tos, because it's always going to relate to those devices, the tech that I use.
Hmm.
So I think that's it really for me. Obviously, it depends. Who knows? I mean, vlog things, I don't think I'm ever quite going to get into that. But I think when I'm doing a video where I'm out and about, that kind of becomes a bit of a vlog anyway. Um, but I am, I think, quite close to the kind of look and feel now. It's taken about 6 months,
Yeah.
so, but yeah, I think it's getting there.
Yeah, well, good luck with all of that.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm pretty much, uh, am I vlogging? I don't even think I am, but I guess there's a little bit of. I'm not
yeah,
vlogging for being like I don't want to be a vlogger per se. What I want
no,
to do is be a good storyteller
yeah,
through video making, through movie making, and at the
yeah,
moment, because it's the only thing that I have at my disposal, the likes of the drone and the cameras and stuff, it's about that theme. Now I do enjoy droning, there's no doubt
yeah,
about it, but it's new to me. I suppose it's new to everyone because drones didn't exist at all
yeah.
a couple of years ago. So
No. When did you get into that? Was only one of my questions. When did you get into the drone? When did you get it?
oh, I mean, it's very simple. I'll tell you because all I got to do is open up a tab and go to my first video,
Yeah.
and it'll say exactly when. Because it was the I probably had only uploaded one or two videos
Yeah.
before that. Let me just see.
How
It's
did you get into it?
um.
Did you
Go on ahead, ask that question.
did you just like think, oh, I really fancy a drone, and then you got into it, or had you seen, or
Um, it was a mixture of a couple of things.
Mhm.
I almost, as I said to the guys, or someone asked me that in a recent interview that I did. I kind of got into the video editing first because
Okay.
my wife
Yeah.
was preparing herself for an interview to change jobs. So every night
Hmm.
for 2 hours, she was going to be studying for about a month or two, and
Right.
I just thought because of my other channel which I had where I was explaining to people how to sell online on Amazon, eBay,
Hmm.
and website selling. I was doing a YouTube channel there, and I actually started with a podcast where I was releasing it
Okay.
on iTunes. Then I realized it was all heading towards video. Then I started that Selling
Right.
Online Today channel, and I was outsourcing the video making
Mm.
to a guy in Romania, and it was just getting very expensive. And
Mm.
I thought, you know what?
Oh,
I'm going back and forth that much with change this and do that. I thought I'd be quicker learning myself. And then
yeah.
I had known about, I used to have a women's magazine, so I knew about, Photoshop, Lightroom, InDesign.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've always sort of been there or thereabouts looking. I've always had graphic
Hmm.
designers employed for me, and I've
Oh,
always
okay.
been looking over their shoulders. So I pick up quite a lot that way. So I just thought
Hmm.
I'd like to learn it myself, and that's how I got
Yeah.
into it.
Oh, cool. Brilliant.
So it all started
Mm.
there. And the drone videos probably started about a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
I'm just sort of looking at, yeah, 1 year ago. 1 year ago.
Wow.
It's all 1 year. Yeah, 1 year ago, not more than 1 year. Because the second
Hmm.
time I took it out, I nearly lost it. The first time was
Oh,
obviously just trying it out in my garden to make sure I could
yeah.
fly it, and then I went to the on a 2 day break up to a beach, and I I went to dinner and I drank 2 pints of beer, and after dinner I was like, "Yeah, this is no bother." Threw it up into the air and it nearly went into the sea. So if I had lost it that day, it probably would have been the end of it, but I didn't, so I
Yeah.
was lucky.
I think I have to come to terms with that. I was saying that to my wife recently when we were in Cornwall with the drone, and the first proper time I'd been along the coast and over the sea, and I was like, kind of touch wood, but I was saying, you know what? The time's going to come when that thing does something, and I've got to be prepared. It's either going to crash or it's going to go in the sea
Yeah,
or something. But
absolutely.
when it
But sure,
happens,
then that'll give you an excuse to change it.
yeah, yeah,
But you do gotta, you fly safe. I'm careful. I'm not reckless, but at the same time,
same.
I do like to push the boundary slightly, and I probably
Mm,
fly too close to stuff because I do like
yeah,
to, get right up close to it, and that's where sometimes you can have accidents. So,
yeah,
as many of you know
yeah,
from
it's
my
true.
3 or 4 crashes that I've had during the year, but
Yeah,
who do you normally watch
yeah,
then on YouTube, apart from myself and all our other viewers who are tuned in? Uh,
yeah.
who do you use for inspiration?
Do you know, I honestly probably can't pinpoint one person. I do now follow quite a lot of people. It's brilliant because I'm picking up loads of little things. I'm getting ideas for future drone videos from various people.
Yeah.
I mean, another aspect I'm looking at, I saw someone do, and it wasn't actually on YouTube, it was on the Phantom Pilot's website that I noticed. I liked how during one of the videos they had it's like where text and a little line comes on the screen and it pinpoints something. So say you're at a coastal town or something and there's a lighthouse, it might point to that and it'll give the name of it, the date. So it's like adding information to your drone videos. I like the idea of that. I've not done that before. And just little things like this. I'm seeing loads of little things that people do, and it
Okay.
builds up like a library of knowledge. Um,
To
for me.
and to make them more
Yeah, so I couldn't
interesting.
really. Yeah, yeah, exactly. And or maybe a little bit like you've done the poem or something in the way that it's like do something to it, add an element to it, make it more fun and interesting. So you want to stay and watch it because you need to read it, something like that. I think there's just a lot more actually to do than at first I thought. Oh, this could end up being boring or something. People just watching drone videos, but actually by getting into this YouTube sort of drone community, it's opening my eyes to, I think, a lot more different videos going forward.
At the beginning, I thought there's nobody droning. Then when I started to
Mm,
research on YouTube, I realized that almost everybody's droning.
yeah, there is a lot. Yeah, there is a lot actually. It's the same at first. I thought, not to drop the name, but it's always Casey. You always think of him as drones, but actually, there are a lot of talented people out there with drone footage, or just how they use it for just anything. Any of the videos, they just whip out the Mavic or something out of the pocket, and then yeah, it's a quite a big thing now.
So, what are your hobby? Have you any other hobbies, or is it basically? I suppose you won't have much time outside of your work, and that.
Yeah. I mean, I like more the outdoors,
Mhm,
and that helps with the drone as
mhm.
well. We especially during the summer, but even in the winter, we don't mind getting out, getting all suited and booted, and going out for walks. Being near Derbyshire and Peak District, there's
Yeah.
always places for walks or a nice drive.
Hmm.
Do a little bit of mountain biking
Hmm.
as well, which I think at some point, if I get a better bike, because mine's ridiculously heavy and not very good. I'd like to do maybe that could be where I could do some time lapse or GoPro videos and take the drone with me and again mixing it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Um,
And there's a lot of stuff on YouTube. I mean, I did one video probably about a year ago when I first, even before I got the drone, where I did like a famous part of a railway that they'd converted into like a hybrid bike path, so like half mountain bike, half racing bike, and it's one of the videos that has the most amount of views, and
right, yeah,
I'm not even talking in it, but there's obviously interest in the world of mountain biking on YouTube.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah, yeah. So exactly, it branches into something a little bit different. So even if you're not interested into drones, someone might watch it, but then also think actually the drone stuff's really cool.
Yeah, it is. I just want to make sure I haven't missed any of the
Yeah.
important questions. I think we've covered just about it all. I do want to keep it within the hour because I just out of
hmm
respect for
Yeah.
yourself, your time, and those that are watching. Um, do you like traveling? Do you get a chance to travel?
Not really in traveling, not in the sense that I've not been to like loads of different countries, but with going to like Cornwall, that was a long road trip for us. It's about six to 7 hours, and I really like that, and I'd love to do that in America, to do like a road trip.
When you were on your honeymoon, whereabouts did you visit in America?
So it was New York. This was the first time I'd been to America.
Okay.
It was New York. Then we were in Miami,
Yeah.
and then a Caribbean cruise.
Yes. 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 That's
So we saw a lot of places, and I've got to admit, yeah, when I was walking around, sometimes I was like, oh, wish I had the drone with me today.
absolutely. And was it that Caribbean cruise that would have done St. Vincent and the Grenadines and all those different islands that have been hit by
It
the
did the ones
storms?
that have been hit.
Yeah.
It was literally the I think three of the places that we went to: San Juan, Puerto Rico, Saint Martin, Haiti. We went to all those places, and that was only like 2 months before it hit, which was quite
Wow.
freaky.
Jeez, can you
Yeah,
imagine being on a cruise ship if
yeah,
that had a came along?
yeah. I've seen a few comments about Cornwall. Yeah, unfortunately the weather wasn't brilliant last week, but I did when we were at Land's End. I got really good footage that day, so that's probably going to make more of it. Like really nice coastal, with the rocks, the water, a good sky, like nice sun. Um, yeah, I mean, I think that'll take me a little while to edit because I've got, I think, a few different ones on the go at the moment, which is quite tricky because you want to do loads of different videos and your head gets a bit mashed sometimes.
That's it.
Um,
How do you manage your workflow when you're uploading it initially? Because I've got a really solid one for
oh,
starting mine, and I'm wondering what sort of way do you start off?
well, I I've got a to-do list like on my phone, and I've got ones where it's where or what I want to do next. Um, but when it does come to it, I think I do. What happens is I'll sometimes drop all the footage in, but then I will stick to one. So after the one about the car charger this weekend, the next one I'm going to get onto is this GoPro video, and then um, it's another hand palm video, but this one's going to be a little bit faster. It's a little bit different than the last one. It's going to be much quicker pace, and shorter. Um, so I think I'm planning it more in my head. So I don't really have. It's not like at work where I have a proper list. I've just got it in my head, and then I'm going to do the Cornwall video. So that'll probably be, that could be a month away from now.
Are you uploading regularly? It seems like you
Yeah,
are.
actually, more,
So
yeah, more than I thought. I think originally I thought, oh, I might only do one a month, but at the moment I'd say it's at least one every 2 weeks. And I'd like to, in a way, I would like to keep that, but I think it's weather dependent. When it comes to the winter, I probably won't get out as much. So
yeah.
I might have a few in the bank though. Maybe like I might do something that I can upload. But yeah, I've realised sometimes I have done one a week, which has surprised me actually because I didn't think I'd have enough content. But like I said, and I've even got more lined up in my head, and I've got some more notes of places I want to try and go before the end of the year and film. There's a place near here which is the tallest freestanding structure in England. It's over 1,000 feet, like chimney, like a
Wow.
not a chimney, sorry, it's like a mast, but it's brick, so it looks like a chimney. And I want to try and film that, which would be quite an impressive thing to see.
Yeah.
But so I've got like things like that. So my list is in my head, I think.
Yeah, yeah. Well, here, listen, I'm a bit the same where I got my notes on my iPhone, and as they come to me,
Mm,
I think, yeah, I'd like to do that. And
Yeah.
I thought, I'm bound to run out of places locally, but
Yeah.
I'm sort of seeing there's more and more. So,
I think that's the thing. Yeah. It's not till you kind of get out there sometimes, and then you do it, and then I kind of even maybe going back to the area that you filmed 6 months ago. I've even thought of doing that because now I've learned skills. I probably get a whole new look.
yeah, and that comes from photography too, where they'll often say
Mm,
visit and revisit places and photo from a different angle. So absolutely, as you get better with the drone and the editing, you'll think, yeah, I'd like to get this angle. I'm
yeah.
pretty much of that ilk where I really want to take the stuff that's commonly seen and try to get it from a different angle,
Yeah.
and present it a different way. And I have using the new camera that I bought. I've gone to a very common sort of walkway next to a river, and I've really tried to jazz it up and look at it in a
Mm,
totally different way. And I think I've achieved it, and I'm really excited. But that video won't come out
cool.
for another 4 or 5 weeks because I have a couple
Yeah.
more to do before that. Andy, we're just about getting close to the end of this. We'll just
hmm
have you been keeping an eye on the chat? I've been,
it's quite tricky. It looks like they're just having a good chat amongst themselves,
yeah,
which is what I've done as well. You do that. Um,
yeah. Well, they are lads, guys. Enjoy it. Enjoy the subbing among themselves, and just make sure that you remember to sub to Andy's channel and to mine too, and drop a comment. If any of you that are on the chat would like to be interviewed in this type of scenario through the Skype call, please do let me know either afterwards on this video through a comment or on one of my last uploads, because I really would like to get to know all of you personally, just like I have with Andy and like I did with
yeah.
Matthew a few weeks ago. So, is there anything that you'd like to ask me now that you have me here?
I think you answered the thing about I think how you got into it. I mean, it sounded quite interesting actually what you did as a job or what you are doing as a job. That sounded quite interesting. So when you had graphic design, so what was that?
Well, I've always had a keen interest in marketing, and it
Mm,
goes
okay.
it goes way back to when I had the opportunity to go and study in Spain when I was
Wow.
about 18. So I studied in Spain, did my third level education in Spain and in Italy, and then ended
Wow.
up working for the language academies that we were to give. It was like a scholarship
Cool.
type idea that you were to give a couple of years working afterwards. And I ended up being their marketing director in Spain. And I always wanted to come home and start my own marketing company, and just, between
Right.
one thing and another and getting all that set up. I then ended up setting up a magazine for the northwest of Ireland that would go into all of the five-star hotels. But I started it right at the beginning of the recession in
Uh,
2007 or 2006. So advertisers just sort of stopped advertising in glossy magazines.
mm,
So I had to make a quick shift. But um, I then opened up a shoe shop for women because of the
hmm
market research that I'd gleaned through the magazine.
Right.
And I decided that because I was sick of helping others to market their businesses and thought I'd like to have something to market my own physical product.
That's
But I
brilliant.
still continue to do a bit of consultancy for, one or two businesses, and it sort of is
hmm
always in around the e-commerce field. So,
Right.
but even
That's
that
good.
now I've
Interesting.
kind of stopped doing it because there's a lot of people now are more up to speed. A couple of years ago when I was starting it, no one had a clue about multi-channel e-commerce retail, or
hmm
so it's where you're selling your physical products on eBay, Amazon, on your website all at the same time, all interlinked and all connected to a back office system, whether it be a factory or whether it be a retail EPOS. So that's what I was
Wow.
specializing in, teaching businesses how to get set up. So I was only ever working with a couple of clients.
Right, right. Gosh, interesting.
Yeah.
It's good.
But now I just run the shop, do
Yeah.
videos, and help one or two manufacturers, and that's it. Don't have time for any more.
Right.
So, yeah,
Cool.
yeah,
Yeah, it's good.
yeah. Well, Thanks for asking. I'm so hope I
Yeah.
didn't bore anyone with that big long explanation. Listen, we'll wrap it up there. Andy, thank you very much.
Thanks. Yeah, it's been good.
We didn't get to ask all the questions just because we ran out of time, but we'll
Yeah.
probably catch up down the line whenever
Yeah.
whenever we get a chance.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
And please do stay in touch. And I look forward to seeing plenty more really good videos.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, yeah. It's
Say
been a
say
good
hello to your
opportunity.
wife because I can't not mention her. She'll be yeah. And good luck with everything. And you've been a
Thank
great
you.
guest,
You too.
and I'm sure everybody has enjoyed watching.
Yeah, brilliant. And thanks, yeah, thanks to everyone who has watched as well.
I think I'll just leave the chat up for a minute or two and
Yeah,
let you interact with it there, and
yeah.
then we'll just I'll hang it up at about 10 o'clock.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so I can still comment on that
Yes, I think you can
page.
work
Brilliant.
away,
Okay.
and
Okay, yeah. Brilliant. Thanks.
thank you very much. And I'll just put on a different screen for people, but I leave the chat there.
Yeah, brilliant. Thanks, Patrick.
Thank you very much.
Cheers. Bye.
Bye bye.